Welcome to Crawl or No Crawl. This is Carolyn Holzman. Today is November 23rd, and it is day 3 of the special week of indexing because it includes Black Friday. And so every day this week I'll be publishing a new test, and we will just be gathering more data during this week to sort of make sense of what we always historically has been a very interesting time for people trying to do business online. So what you're looking at is the research, sort of like the quick version, and you can find this on American Way Media, and it's on the Google Index Detector page. You can also just simply Google it, Google Index Detector, and you'll find it. It's the first result. And it's a free resource, so if you're curious and don't have time to watch the video, you can kind of quickly come here. And I'm working to make this more informative, not just is it on or off, but when did it last test on, so you kind of get a feel for things. Okay, so let's look here. This is the log, and this is where dates and times of launch, of findability, of updates, everything is noted in here. So as you can see, so far every day this week we've had a test, and now for 2 days in a row, I had some technical difficulties this morning, so what I recorded didn't render. So I'm recording later in the day, and since this morning to now, for the second day in a row, one of our test pages tested on for the JavaScript keyword and not for the simple. Very perplexing. Going to try and come up with some way I could figure that out. There we go. So the new test was published. The request was made through the indexing API. The bots arrived, and so forth and so on. Now, one thing that did happen last night, very, very late, it was either after 11:30 and before 2 Central Standard Time, the Search Console page report was updated. And what was interesting about yesterday was that it tested findable by the JavaScript keyword very quickly. Now, what does this mean? Well, I know that this indicates that the content was run through the second pass, the render engine, but the data itself doesn't tell me why or how this is possible that it could be findable by the JavaScript keyword and not by the simple, which might be that this is part of the serving right now. So yeah, this is your weekly reminder that Google engineers have shared with us that the entire indexation process from publish to being findable is comprised of 3 systems. The crawling system, which uses robots text and sitemaps. The indexing system, which is Search Console, basically, how we know this system is working. And then there's the serving system, the part we don't really see unless we can find our pages by our keywords. And what that means basically is this is where there's a connection that's been made between your content and Google's documents. And it's made the jump. Let's say it's had a keyword assigned to it, and then it's made the jump into the primary index, probably somewhere between spot number 1 and spot number 200. Okay. Now, normally, this is why last night was so interesting, is that the time lag between publishing and finding it by its keyword was 12 to 14 hours. And that is the fastest that I've witnessed since this research started back in August 2021. So normally, it would take 24 hours for new content. Please understand, this is testing new content, not content that exists, that is already indexed and making edits. Now, there are still some evidence of rollbacks on those 2 test pages from the 4th and the 14th of this month. So let's look at the bots real quick and see what they tell us. Okay, so the ones over here, these are the desktop bots. That's the one with the orange box above it. And then the blue box above it are the mobile bots on here. Now, what's interesting is these 2 bots do not have any Chrome build on them. They're the only bots that don't, because either it's a desktop with a Chrome or it's a mobile with a Chrome. And we're seeing that mobile 17 and mobile 19 are still sort of tag teaming each other. But what's weird about this, one is MobileBot 18 was clearly a bust. It didn't last very long, and they never made a desktop version of it. They went directly into MobileBot 19. Now, MobileBot 17, that Chrome build, has had an unusually long life. It's been over 30 days that it's been in service. So anyway, just sharing all that with you, that those are the things that catch my eye. You know, everybody's braced for an update. Some people have been seeing more traffic, and I wonder, you know, just how well they're tracking their positions as opposed to average position. Google could be testing their content. Hard to tell, because this is why anecdotal stories are interesting and yet utterly frustrating, because they're stories, they don't bring any real data to the table. So I'm going to keep trying to do that. Stay tuned for tomorrow's report. I'm working on this week's Confessions of an SEO. And remember, if you're interested in the forensic SEO training, January 19th, I'll be kicking that up. And so if you're interested, go take a look at forensicseotraining.com. And if you want to use the form, you'll get on an early bird list. Okay, take care. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, but you will definitely hear from me in the morning.